What's the deal? What's the deal? How you feel? What's the deal? Where you at?
So y'all here? Y'all like inspiration? Y'all like motivation?
Denise Camille.
Y'all like ventilation?
Denise Camille.
Y'all know I gotta make up a few words here and there, but who y'all here with?
Ventilation and Denise Camille.
Under the act. But we not playing no game.
We're not into games. We don't like Sega, PlayStation, or Xbox.
So y'all here with Dilate the Dialogue with Denise Camille.
Dilate the dialogue.
We gotta open up, not them legs, but the mind.
Denise Camille.
Because I know y'all trying to find y'all strength.
Denise Camille.
Intertwined with the life of me.
Denise Camille.
Hey y'all, I'm back at it again. Greetings. How's everybody doing today? How are things working? How are things growing? How's life moving? Greetings. I am the one and only Denise Camille, goddess of spirits made into the native. That's who I be. How can I help you heal? I am Denise Camille. So today's episode, I was feeling a little like, what am I guided to speak on today, on this episode? What needs to get out? In today's episode, we're talking about, are your emotions in survival mode? Woo! Let me fix the hair for that one. Because I know, see what I'm saying? That's like the minute I said fix it, they're like, nope, we're going to go about it this way. You know what? Can we just work with, that's okay. I'm about to just, Denise Camille. Put the Denise Camille on it. Are your emotions in survival mode? Yeah. We think survival. What we think when we hear the word survival? We think, again, I'm going to throw a cartoon out there like in the Croods, right? That was the caveman family where that was another topic where they were surviving. They were doing their best to make it day to day, whether it be trying to find food for the day or them just being able to stay alive another day, right? So if we think about being able to stay alive another day, and we know that emotions are energy in motion, right? We know it's energy in motion, it's flowing. It's a feeling that flows. It's funny how these words always seem, sound, and are just propelled to be very similar, right? So feelings flow, yet do feelings survive? And where does that stem from, right? So that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode. Are your emotions in survival mode? I'm going to let y'all ponder on that. We're going to come back with it. All right, y'all. Hey. Greetings. Salutations. I'm back. Denise Camille. Let's talk about it today. On today's episode, we're talking about, are your emotions in survival mode? And again, I kind of touched on survival, where survival, it's normally we hear survival of the fittest. We hear survival of those that are making it. Only the strong survive. Only the wise excel, right? That's a hip hop song, a quote. Yet, should our emotions be deemed strength or strong, or should they be deemed wise? And if so, why is it like that, right? Why should our emotions be in this place of, you got to survive, you got to be strong, you got to be smart, you got to strategize? There is such a thing, such a difference between logic and emotion. And I do touch on it in my Barbershop Basics, where men are more emotional than women are more logical. And I'm going to say it again. Men are more emotional and women are more logical. in practical situations, we strategize a plan to create a logical, cohesive structure and a foundation of growth. Most times if you put a man in a similar situation, his plan is based off emotion. I'm going to make sure that we all feel good, that everyone is all okay, that everyone's emotions are not being tested and no one's having panic attacks and we're not in a place of, trying to find how do we hug each other just to stay alive, right? So that logic of survival it's in a place of bare minimum, right? So why would your emotions, which is an energy in motion, why would it be at bare minimum? Why would your emotions be in survival mode? So let's talk about that, right? So if we're dealing with emotions, 9 times out of 10, we're dealing with relationships, whether it be friendships, parent to child, or romantic relationships, right? Where as an individual, we know that we are here to love and be loved. Yet, if the other person on the other end is not giving us or pouring in or feeding us the love that we need, our emotions almost like dwindle out slowly but surely. Almost like when you turn the hourglass of the sand, that's how our emotions are getting almost seeping out of us. And then when we get to the bottom, we're in that survival mode of, if I could just make it through today, or like in the cruise, if we could just survive another day with this little bit of food that we have to share between amongst us, right? What does that look like when you're at a place of needing to heal? Would your emotions really still be in a survival place? Because most times, if your emotions are at a survival place, that mode of energy is at a drainage, destitute, sewage type of feelings, right? Where you're like, woe is me, the glass is half empty, I'm Oscar the Grouch, I just don't care. I don't care because I've been hurt too many times, because hurt people do what? Hurt people. So if hurt people, and I'm here wanting to grow, I'm not in the cohesive environment to allow me to grow, right? I'm not at a place where I am feeling loved. I am feeling special. I feel like I'm in a place where I'm in a war zone, where all our emotions are like little soldiers, where we're ducking under the bunkers and we're trying to dodge bullets from people who are throwing darts or bullets of energy that's negative, that's creating us to feel like if we have to protect ourselves, so we keep our emotions in a survival mode, where we learn traits and we learn skill sets that aren't conducive to healing, that aren't conducive to growth. We learn traits of manipulation. We learn traits of protection. We learn traits of sarcasm. We learn these traits to protect our emotions, because 9 times out of 10, that's our treasure box. And that's like the black box in an airplane. So it's like, it's locked up. Why? Because it needs to survive. Because if it doesn't protect itself, it's not going to live. It's like, imagine your emotions are your heart. The minute somebody stabs you in the heart with an emotional damage, what does that do to the heart? It punctures it. And then there's blood leaking out. And the blood is your energy flowing out of you. Your emotions, your happiness, your gladness, your joy, your exuberance, your elated behaviors, your celebration of life, your smiles. Imagine that. So imagine your heart being in a survival mode. It's almost just as bad as you not having a heart, because you're barely making it. You're in a place of, if I can make it through the day, we made it through. We can't even celebrate. We just, bar humbug. I done made it through another day. So what? And what? And again, there are people who genuinely want to get out of that mode, yet the energy that they choose to flow with for their emotions do not feed it. They don't heal it. They don't nurture it. They don't know how to love it. They don't know how to cater to it. They're at a place of, I just need to breathe, right? So think about, we're going to take a quick break before we go into segment 2. Yeah, think about what places are your emotions in? Are you in a survival mode? Are you in a strategy mode of your emotions where you know those that are around you have you walking on eggshells? Or the minute they come around you, you feel drained. Or you know that they come to take from you. Are you in any of those 3 elements? I would say blink twice so I could know. But, that's why the DM is there. That's why all that information is there. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about it. All right, y'all. Okay, y'all. Greetings. Welcome back. So we're at segment 2. And, we're talking about, are your emotions in survival mode? And for those who are questioning, like, well, how would you know you're in survival mode? And how do you know your emotions are actually being mistreated? So let's talk about, do you know those that are around you or your quote unquote loved ones? Are they loving on you in a narcissistic way? Are they loving on you in a gaslighting kind of way? Are they loving on you in a manipulative way? And these people could be both males and or females. Because again, these are the individuals who are takers. Givers are surrounded by takers. I'm going to say that again. Givers are surrounded by takers. What does that mean? That means that the takers are the individuals who know that you're openly willing to give of your energy to others for the greater good, where you become either the enabler of the family. Enabler meaning whenever the family needs something, you that person they call on. Because they know you're going to do it. You're going to stop, drop, and roll for it. Are you the person that doesn't know how to say that special word, no, when they ask of you for something? And you know you don't want to do it, but you're like, I was taught in school and in church and all that. I got to say yes because that's the way that we keep the peace and we be humble and things of that nature. The only peace that you strive for is that inner peace, right? So what have you ever gotten to a place where you've recognized, hey, what if I pull back from these specific individuals and then realize that pulling back allows me to be stronger for me? Stronger in a sense where I cater to my emotions, nobody else. Stronger in a sense where I give myself unconditional love, nobody else. Stronger in a sense where I allow access to certain people around me in my environment. Nobody else makes that decision for me. So having to see that, what that looks like for you is taking that time to heal. Taking that time to heal. Taking that time to sit with yourself. It's not pretty. I'm not going to say it's going to get ugly. It's not pretty. It's not pretty because what it means is a piece of you is going to probably want to be angry. Angry at the people that you've allowed in your circle, in your mind, in your heart. Yet the only person you really become angry at is yourself. Yet what that's doing is that's pulling your emotions out from survival mode. That's recognizing that if I don't address these issues now, if I don't recognize what I've allowed in, If I don't see the toxic avenging that I've been doing in my own life, time is never wasted. It's just rearranged. Sitting and healing with yourself is a perfect place to be. Taking that time to write down or sit in your vomit and sift through it. Allowing your emotions to breathe looks a lot different than having your emotions in survival mode when you're catering to the masses. I hope y'all are listening. Make sure those emotions are not in survival mode. And for those that choose to, for lack of a better word, abuse substances at any point in time, be mindful that you still have to heal from those traumas. They don't go away. They just get numbed for a brief, temporary moment in time. It still comes back up. We all have traumas. It hurts like nobody's business. A lot of times we don't even get closure. Yet we have to heal our emotions so that it flows freely like the river. Instead of trying to put a bridge or build a dam to stop it from flowing, we can't even appreciate breath of life. It doesn't even become a breath of fresh air anymore. It's like we're walking through smog in the battlefield, dodging bullets of other people's hurt because their trauma has now become our trauma. Be mindful of those emotions in survival mode. Be aware that the mind and the heart can and will work together once you heal. It's not an easy process. It has to be done alone. Just make sure that you have that lifeline of that energy, a free-flowing individual, not another toxic person. You know who the toxic ones are around you. We all do. That's why we attracted them at one point in time of our lives. Yet being mindful that your emotions are not in survival mode. We need our emotions. We're human. I used to love logic only. Love it. Until I realized I needed balance. And that balance came with my emotions and my logic. They go hand in hand. You need both. If you use only logic, you're surviving. You use only emotions, you're surviving. If you use both logic and emotion, guess what? You're thriving. You're thriving because you're allowing your voice to speak from the mind and from the heart. You're allowing it. You're giving it access to each other. Say, okay, you guys can talk now. Look at y'all like a match made in heaven. Y'all talking. Allow the logic to connect with the emotions. They make sense together. They make beautiful, it's like chasing butterflies. Some of us wish we could chase butterflies all day. But it's like chasing butterflies. Why survive in your emotional state when you can thrive in that logic and emotion? And a lot of us know what we need to do. Do we want to do it? That's a different story. Should we do it? Yes. For the greater good of yourself, you should. All right, y'all. Any questions, comments, concerns? My info's at the bottom. Click the link in my bio. Hit me up. All right, y'all. Peace.